Hello, hello, how are you? How are you doing? I hope you're keeping well and you're keeping safe. And I'm sure you have been thinking about whether your business is mature and you've been trying to figure out where your business is at in terms of the stages. So I have a question for you, and I don't mean to make things harder, but are you an event planner or are you an event planning business owner? Which are you? Okay, so the reason I ask is because when you put business owner to your name, it means a lot more. Running an event planning business entails a lot more than just being an event planner. Because if you're an event planner, it means you're probably employed and all you're doing is just planning events. Nothing else that would make a business prosper affects you. All you do is just planning events. But from what I know, most of us are actually running event planning businesses, which is why it is important for us to know the 7 elements of business that Chuck Blakeman gives in his book, Making Money is Killing Your Business. Now, the first element is vision and leadership. Guys, this is where you think about where you want your business to be, how you want your business to progress, where you see it in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years. This is where you visualize, and I know very many of us do that. And then the second element is business development, which again, most of us do. So we'll talk about selling our brand, we will talk about marketing and even selling within here. We all do that. We all, market ourselves on social media. There's a lot more to it, but we do it. And there are a lot of people who talk about it. Now, the third element, which I feel is very critical, especially for an event planning business owner, is operations and delivery. Why? It's because events is a service, and it's very hard to ensure that the service you give to client X is the same one that you give to client Y, or the service you give to client X in January is the same service that you give to client X in February or in June, because services are harder to have as a consistent thing. But the only way we can make sure that we give our clients consistency is by ensuring that we have processes in place. All right, we have to have processes. Basically what we talked about last week, which is system dependent. So that's an important element that I feel that a lot of event planning business owners need to do. And the fourth one is financial management, which we all know. And here we talk about, financial statements, you talk about your accountant, your auditor. We pretty much know what it means. But what I like that is different about what Chuck Blakeman says is he talks about the leading indicator number. What's your leading indicator number? In other words, what do you have to work towards? So for example, if I want to have 2 weddings every month, I know I have to have 20 couple meetings planned for the next 1 month. All right, so those 20 meetings could mean 4 meetings every week or whatever, but I need to know the number that I need to work towards. Then he also talks about the lagging indicator, right? What's that number that, if tells you whether you had a good month or a bad month or a bad year, whichever period you're looking at. So for me, if I want to know if I had a good month, all I need to know is I had 2 good weddings and 1 corporate event, and I'm done. So my question to you, as you handle your financial management within your business, what's your leading indicator number? What's your lagging indicator number? Right. And then the other element is our customer satisfaction element of the business. Now, this is something that I know we all love to do. We love our customers being happy. We love to ensure that they're happy with our service so that they can refer us, and so that if they're corporates, they can keep coming back to us. So I know that we do it, but I just want to, give a different edge to it. So do we have a system Like, you as a business owner, you know very well that you need to call the client and find out if they're okay. But does the rest of your team know it? Do you have a system? Do you have a script you follow, or do you have a method? Is there a plan that once the event is over, you do this, then you do this, then you do this? That is what I'm talking about here. Then the second last element is employee satisfaction. Gosh, this is important because, guys, without our employees, whether they're casuals, whether they're part-time or full-time, we cannot do without them. So we have to make sure that we have a program, a system that makes them happy. Does that mean you have to have an HR manager fully employed? But you can have a consultant, you can do something. Just make sure you take care of your employees, because without them you can't go anywhere, honestly. And then of course there's your community element of your business. What are you doing for the community? And I love this because I have seen a lot of businesses go out of their way to help the communities that are really suffering right now during this pandemic. So that's important. So with these 7 elements of business, you're talking about vision and leadership, business development, operations delivery, financial management, customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, and community. With all those 7 elements, I guarantee you it's impossible to handle all those 7 elements without a system. It's like juggling different balls. How do you manage it? You need a system. So when you say you're an event planning business owner, it means that you have to have a system. If you don't have a business system, you're fooling yourself, right? So what I've done today is I have a document that you can download in the link below that will help you to figure out and to start thinking about this process, so that when now we move to the practicalities of actually making our businesses mature, then it will help you along the way. So download that link and get that document and work on it, okay? So now that we've learned the 4 different things about the business, we've looked at the 3 things rather. We've looked at the quality of a mature business, we've looked at the 7 stages of business, we looked at the 7 elements of business. Now that we know this information, now we'll be able to know what we need to do within each and every of these facets of business, so that we can move our businesses from the treadmill, which is 1, get a client, do a job, market, get a client, produce, do a job, so that we get out of that rat race into a mature business, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. Next week it's going to be exciting because it's going to be very practical, and I think you'll find it very helpful. So if you have not, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please do, and share this channel with your friends. See you next week.